Hello and welcome back to Opera's Void. I'm your host, Forgotten Void, and as for the results of the poll, today we will be showcasing a Tier 7 German cruiser annihilating everything in Cherry Blossom. And in this case, the German cruiser is Munich. I'm sure, it'll be the B version of Munich, but it's Munich. So I'm sure a lot of you thinking, oh, maybe it's Weimar. Few hopefuls of, oh, it's York, but nope, we're gonna do it with Munich. So Munich has 150 millimeters with really fast base reloading time. So 5 seconds here. They're twin turrets, so only 8 guns, but they are really, really fast reloading. We just have standard equipment here. And then for commander skills, it's not what I use, but what was used in this video is Grease the Gears, Demolitions Expert, and Fill the Tubes, Heavy HE, because this will actually let your HE do damage, and let's see, this goes for a lighthouse build, so with top grade gunner. Now your concealment is 12.1, which isn't that bad for a Tier 7 cruiser. So anything within 12.1 kilometers, then you get increased reload of 8 seconds, and your secondaries reload with it is reduced by 10%. So anything within, well, if you're within 12.1 kilometers of anything, then it's what? 4.6 seconds reload with however much you're a Gen Rush. So this is very much DPM. Is the last skill. And then Survivability Expert, because you don't get a heal, that is 3,150 more HP that you get over the match. I don't often take this for cruisers, but I can see it has a value at Tier 7 or below. For other, if higher you get a heal, maybe the heal is more valuable, but for this one, it's for Tier 7 below when you don't, well, I guess Tier 8 and below when you don't get a heal. The Survivability Expert has a place. So, with that, we'll go ahead and hop into battle, or watch this battle. So, as you can see, it's Munich B in this case. The only difference was this one was available for sale for the Black Friday. You have Scharnhorst, Lugdunum, Nuremberg, Leander, Montcalm, and a Farragut. Honestly, this is actually a decent team lineup. So this is one of the things, if you're running a Tier 7, you're going to get the Tier 8 or lower. And you're going to be matched with people who are no higher than Tier 8. So for people complaining about super ships or that Tier 8 and higher is too hard, this is what you can do. You just run a Tier 7. There's a lot of good Tier 7s, like Munich. I mean, even Tech Tree Tier 7s. There's a lot of decent Tier 7s. So, we're showing Toxic Symphony. He is a very good, I've showcased a few of his videos before. He is very, 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 very good, and I learned from him on how to play ships, because he's just very good in all ships. He learns from me on how to play ops, and so this is someone who takes advice on how to play ops and uses their special skill set of being really good at playing ships to do very well in the op. So as you can see, his shells are reloading every 4.6 seconds now because there are ships within detectability. Now this is Cherry Blossom, so the base detectability is reduced because rather than being something that affects detection like smoke, it creates your starting detectability at 7.2, which then means that even when it goes to daytime, your range for top grade gunner in this case would be 7.2. This is kind of a bug because it should be a something that actually just affects your detection like smoke, but instead you have this bug. And so as you can see, he's not shooting right away. He's waiting a little bit. Honestly, you should, as a cruiser, you should wait a little bit for those. You should wait until battleships, but since the lockdown is going up, and those look like Charnhar shells, which aren't very accurate, it's okay to shoot right away. Because there's not really anything going to shoot heavy caliber shells at Myoko to delete it really early, so you might as well pepper it with DPM. If there are ships that can one-shot the first Myoko, you might as well let them get it. Even though, yes, it's competitive damage firing, that is a little bit of teamwork to make sure the ship just goes away. So you can focus on another ship. And now the what's it? The tier 5 cruiser is in range. Oh, it's been a while since I played warships, or rather, I've been playing it too long. Yahagi. It's been a while since I played low tier ships, so a lot of the low tier names have escaped me now. So this is actually one of the first low tier battles I've seen in a while. And so as you can see, the armor piercing is similar to the Weimar. Weimar has a little bit more alpha. The Munich has fast reloading guns. So if you are akin to missing, Munich's actually a little bit better. Another difference between Munich and Weimar is Munich only has one set of torque tubes per side, whereas Weimar has two. And that's kind of why Weimar was so good, because with the speed boost and two sets of fast reloading torps and the high alpha for its guns, it was very, very powerful when the op of the Reek was certain, and it was very, very powerful in Nurai. Outside of Nurai, if you could take a tier 7, it was very meh. Even though you couldn't take a tier 7, it was only really good in that one op. And so now that you can't guarantee Nurai, it's kind of, I guess, I haven't seen many Weimars since then. It's still a good PvP boat, but I think actually Munich would probably be better just because it has the fast reload. It doesn't focus so much on speed and alpha, and it's more about whittling your, well, nickel and, I wouldn't even call it nickel and diming, I would call it melting. It's about melting your opponents. And also with the other thing is having the fast reload means that you can get a lot of kills, especially in ops, because you're always going to have shells at the target. It's just like secondary battleships, where secondary battleships get a lot of shells in the targets and can get kills that you're not trying to get. Munich can do the same thing, just by volume of main battery shells. And these destroyers spawn a little bit. If these destroyers were to continue, they would take out the carrier or any allies nearby. So that is why it's a good thing to take out these while they are here. And here is one of the Luchen's procs. In this case, it was main battery. So his main battery is reduced by 10%. So that's one of the things that Luchen's is really good with, is that main battery hits and secondary hits, you get 130 or 140 main battery hits. Let's see that. It's 140 main battery hits, and it's minus 7.5% on the reload. With 100 secondary hits, it's minus 15% on the reload. And the only really ship that can get both of those is Mecklenburg. Otherwise, well, I guess Mines and some others can or could. Mines can in Nurai, and anything else, as long as you're really close, they can. But for the most, yeah, there he is, living up his name. Okay. I guess some people like to roleplay. So, and I know one of my commander actually does like to talk to the enemies, but he doesn't do it into chat. He says it out loud. So, yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise there seeing that, but for Toxic and me as well. And these Fletchers, unfortunately, do not shoot guns, do not have anything except for AA. They are just AA barges. If you feel like your AA is underwhelming, you can sit in front of one of those Fletchers and kidnap them. Otherwise, they act as a bullet, sponge, and torpedo magnet until they get taken out. Sometimes people will try to make it their job to save them. Doesn't always work. And I think you saw Toxic will sometimes swap to his torpedoes, even though he can't launch them. All that is to tell him where the ship is going and about how fast the ship is going. Because the torpedo lead will lock on even though you're not in torpedo range. And so with his 6-kilometer torpedoes, he's using it as how fast is this ship going. And like, if you can't see the ship moving, it's really good to know if it's sitting still or if it's just moving a little bit, especially with these very floaty shells. And another thing is, on the tier 7, the toggle takes full damage, but on tier 8 and 9, it does not. So here, you will be able to do just normal damage. You won't see weird numbers against the toggle. Unless Wargaming has broken something, because they do break things in ops, and then tend to ignore them. Like the light that should be somewhat returning to normal now, and instead is a flash. When the op was first reintroduced, it was a gradual, light was gradually went up to dawn, and so there wasn't a sudden shift from night to day. And then within 2 patches, it became a sudden shift to night to day, and it hasn't been fixed since. And yep, there's the Mogami. And I guess that this does make the ship a little bit one-dimensional when it's just shoot, 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 shoot. At least Weimar, you're swapping between torps more. But there are a lot of one-dimensional ships. Like Shimakaze and Jaeger. And these one-dimensional ships can actually still be really good. But yeah, here we are. He's moving in, so with the harbor mostly clear at this point in time. Well, unfortunately, 3 people have died since then, so the harbor is mostly clear. So he's only facing Shiratsuyu's. He has a heal, and the heal is based on tier level, not his ship HP. But having more ship HP usually means that you can heal more. And that's because of however much damage you take, a certain amount of it is healable and some of it is not. So we'll never be able to go back to full HP. If he takes a Citadel, then only some of it will be healable. But having Luchins and getting more and more spotting ribbons, he can get more heals. And this helps with his survivability. This helps with any German ship survivability. And with higher tiers, it's really nice on destroyers. With lower tiers, it's nice on all of the ships. It's not that much HP usually. Maybe. 3 spots is 300 HP per second for a few seconds. 300 HP per second, and the seconds is the ship's tier. So it'd be 7 seconds for a tier 7. For a tier 10, it's 10 seconds. And so you get plus 300 HP for each tier ship you lock in. And it's actually a big thing in ships that do not get heals. Or ships that need to be tanking the damage. Like in this case, Toxic is here in the front, taking all the hits, taking all the damage, while the ships in the back are slowly, they're learning to get up, so they're slowly coming up. He's up here doing all the work. So he's DCP'd that fire immediately because he did not want to be broadside. The Alba AP broadside is nasty, but so is Munich's AP to the broadside of an Alba. The Japanese ships are always floating citadels. I mean, at least with the tier 9 and 10, Azuma and Yoshino, they have enough armor to not be floating citadel for most 150mm guns, but anything above that, they're still a floating citadel. And the air defense is here. Taking and doing damage to them doesn't do any XP, but getting the ribbon is a new type of, it's a different ribbon than what you normally get. And with wargamings, doing different things gets you more XP. By taking those out, you're getting a little bit more XP, a little bit more earnings. But the actual damage you do, it doesn't really count for anything. So if you do no damage to the almost no damage to the aerodromes or defenses, but you are the one to score the last hit for all of them, you will get the credit for the XP, while the person who did all the damage gets nothing. It's a pretty bad mechanic, but it's because of I don't know why they did it like that. It's probably something to do with the coding. Anyways, with 3 minutes left to go and pretty much all the enemy ships killed, I think all that would be all the ships that will spawn. With his 19 kills now, he's going back to kill and destroy the defenses. Now he looked back real quick because he was suddenly detected again, and these defenses will spot And so that's why he was being spotted by the onshore facilities, the AA defenses. And so he was looking back to make sure that there wasn't a ship that suddenly spawned in, as he had come out of smoke. And no more aerodrome. And you see, the aerodromes had, what, 61,000 HP? They are pretty low health because the tier 6s, with having so many tier 6s on your team, everything has low health. So pretty much everything had low HP, plus having a monstrous DPM means that he did really well with major contribution, assistant, and everything. Only 12 citadels for his 495 shell hits, but he was spamming, and 2,500 base XP and a tier 7 because he did pretty much everything. And like the ships, they all had pretty low HP. So because they were so many tier 6s, and so this allowed him to go in and kill things very quickly. He didn't need the alpha that Weimar has to be able to do so much, but he was killing everything. And the aerodromes, they had 60 HP, and he only did, what, a third of it? Not even. But he got the kill. So he got the kill, he got the ribbon, he gets more XP from that. And so, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't really enjoy this video, give it a thumbs down. Oh look, 1.6 million credits from a blue booster. And actually you can do this much easier with flagship ops, and now flagship ops is really good for credit earnings. That said, I hope to see you again next week. Have a good one.